Kansas City Chiefs news and rumors. It's all about this guy. What is going on with Patrick Mahomes? Is he going to be able to play this week against the Buffalo Bills?
There's not a lot of new information as we film this, just what we know based on what came out of the game last night. Obviously, here's what we know. Left the Browns game with a concussion. Didn't return, couldn't return. Now, Jay Glazer of Fox Sports after the game said that the Chiefs are optimistic about him being ready next week and that he tried to lobby to even return to that game. Obviously, if you have concussion symptoms, that's not an option in today's NFL. They take that very, very seriously, as they should. What's confused some people is this was not a typical looking hit of one that would result in a concussion because of two reasons. There wasn't a strong helmet-to-helmet contact, and his head was not slammed to the turf. Neither of those things happened. That doesn't mean you can't get a concussion, though. Obviously. That also doesn't mean he could have suffered it on a few plays earlier, and they just didn't know yet, and that hit may have put it over the top. We don't really know what the case may be. It seems like it might be more of a mild case at this point in time, Mitch, but obviously he has to clear protocols, and an independent doctor has to clear Patrick Mahomes. It's not a Mahomes decision. It's not a team decision. It's a medical decision.
So, yeah, I think the reason why people are really, I'll say, I don't want to use the word overreacting because anytime you're dealing with concussion, that's not the right word, but people are freaking out over it is because everyone saw him get up, and not only got up, he really struggled. I mean, I made this, point earlier on where it reminded me a lot of when a boxer tries to get up and they're doing that 10 count, and Mahomes is literally being helped up. You can see that he's dizzy. You can see the stars in there.
It was a whiplash type of hit.
Oh, and anytime that you see that, especially with a player that is the star caliber of a Patrick Mahomes, who is the face of the NFL, it's eye-opening, and that game was that one was a nail-biter. I can't believe that, the Chiefs were honestly able to, pull it out even without him.
I
got nervous, especially when Chad Henne threw that late interception. I was like, oh, no, here we go. But Patrick Mahomes, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he is able to play against the Bills because I think deep down, everybody wants to see Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes in the best game possible.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't underestimate just what Mahomes means to this Chiefs team. I know we always talk about he has a ton of help around him.
Oh, he does.
They didn't score without him.
Yeah.
Quarter and a half, 0 points.
I will give Andy Reid some credit, though. That last play,
ballsy.
That took some cojones, which is why I love Andy Reid.
Yeah, Chad Henne stepped in. I mean, Mahomes is huge, though. 24-1 in his last 25 starts, counting last year's playoff run. The Raiders, the only team to beat him over his last 25 games. I think it's simple. If he can't go in this game, you don't beat Buffalo. Buffalo's too good. This is not, just another playoff team. Could they have beaten like the 6th seed, maybe like the Steelers without him? I think that's possible.
Yeah.
But Buffalo, I don't think people realize this Chiefs team this year has not been flawless. There's some issues on this roster, and they have not played up to their standard that many would expect. Chris Jones and Frank Clark haven't been great this year. So I think Patrick Mahomes is a guy that can help hide some of those weaknesses, and if he's not out there, that's obviously going to be a major, major problem for Kansas City. I wanted to add this note. Carrington Harrison, who covers the Chiefs and does sports talk radio in Kansas City, said this after the game last night, or this morning, actually, excuse me. Sources told me Patrick passed all of his tests last night. He didn't actually hit his head, which we discussed that earlier. There was a nerve in his neck that got tweaked that made him out of it. He's getting testing done on his nerve today, but did clear all of the tests last night. Now, I don't know if he's saying he's clear concussion protocol because there's a process there that you have to go through, but could it possibly be that it was such a whiplash neck type of hit that he was just dizzy because he got spun around? I don't know. I don't know how much that actually comes into play here. But if it's more on the mild side of concussion, which is the point people are trying to make, there is a good chance he'll clear by next Sunday, whereas some concussions take more than a week.
Yeah, so I understand the whole concussion thing. I also heard this was a report on Twitter as well, the neck injury. Something that I read, which I thought was pretty interesting from a doctor that I personally follow on Twitter, was like, have you ever gotten up where, I don't know, you're driving your car, you're doing something, and you do get that sharp neck pain?
Yes.
So I get it very frequently, and then it kind of freezes you up. If you watch when Mahomes is standing up, he kind of has that where he gets locked in, and I don't know if he was super dizzy. He definitely looked dazed, but he just looked, I thought, genuinely concerned about what the heck just happened.
And kudos to the Chiefs for, hey, you're not going back in the game.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing this by the book, so that's that. Hopefully he'll play. Let us know what you guys think. Will Patrick Mahomes play against the Buffalo Bills? It seems good so far. He's tweeting after the game. He's in good spirits. He's got to clear the protocols. I'm going to type my wife for yes, but obviously he has to go take those steps, and hopefully he will be cleared in time for next Sunday.
I'm also going to type my wife for yes, and just like he tweeted, though, Harrison, anything is possible. Yes. All right, let's go to this next update here around Eric Bieniemy, and is he going to Houston? This one's been kind of all over the place here, so walk me through the latest around the Chiefs OC.
Well, it seems like it's Houston or bust at this point. I will add the Eagles did request an interview a few days ago, but as of now, there's no interview scheduled between Bieniemy and the Eagles. I don't know if that's on Philadelphia's side of things, on Bieniemy's side of things, but as of now, there's nothing scheduled. Now, normally, the NFL or the Texans would have to wait until the season is over to interview Eric Bieniemy because the Chiefs are still in the playoffs and they didn't interview him during their bye week of the playoffs in the wild card round. But the NFL and the Chiefs have allowed for a virtual interview to take place. Good on the Chiefs for letting a guy that they want to become a head coach someday do that. So he's interviewing with the Texans here on Monday. It's possible it's already taken place. It sounds like it's Houston or bust at this point for Bieniemy because there's only 2 openings left, and that's Philadelphia and Houston. My question for EB would be, do you want this job at this point? And I know he's probably at the point where he can't get super picky, but if I'm Bieniemy, the first question I'm asking Houston in this interview is, how confident are you that we can get Deshaun Watson back on board?
And I don't really think that Houston or anybody in Houston can honestly look you in the camera
and give you a straight answer
and say, hey, we're confident that you're going to be able to come back. And from what it looks like, Deshaun, I think the easiest plug, though, for Bieniemy and why I think he actually also has a lot of power in this is because it sounds like it's Watson's like, if you don't bring in Eric Bieniemy,
I'm gone.
I'm a goner. So for Houston to make Deshaun Watson happy, the one guy that he's wanted from day one just to at least get an interview has been Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
And I know that Patrick Mahomes has talked to Mahomes like, hey, you're going to absolutely love this guy. We'll see what ultimately ends up happening, but if I'm Bieniemy and Watson's not there, it's probably the most unappealing job in the NFL. So here's some 2021 job openings. Now, if you guys remember, we did a video about last week, try to predict all of them. So far, the only one that we've gotten wrong is Chargers hiring Brandon Staley.
Random, by the way.
Yeah, which was super random, but I guess Chargers are going to Charger. The Jets, they hired Robert Saleh, which means there are only 2 positions left, the Texans and the Eagles.
And when you tie this back to Bieniemy, it's, okay, Philadelphia's requested, nothing's scheduled. He's interviewing with the Texans on Monday. I think it's simple for him. If he thinks Deshaun Watson can get back on board with Houston, that's a very appealing job because it's Deshaun Watson. That's very intriguing. If not, I think he's back in Kansas City next year, and he waits for another opportunity in 2021.
So what's the better job, the Houston Texans or the Philadelphia Eagles? Type HOU for Houston or type PHI for the Eagles. Obviously, Philly has Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. There's a lot to be able to work with there. Not a lot of cap space. Right now, the second fewest dollars. Then you got the Houston Texans. They don't have a first-round pick this year or a second-round pick this year, and there's a lot of questions swirling around Deshaun Watson. I am still going to say it's Houston because they do have Watson. If they don't, though, maybe the better job is after all the Eagles. All right, here's another update here around Daniel Sorensen. Dirty Dan, not suspended.
Yeah, we'll keep it quick here. That helmet-to-helmet hit on Rashard Higgins near the goal line obviously sparked some controversy. Probably should have been a penalty. It was not.
Yep.
I don't think that warranted a suspension, though.
Especially in the playoffs. If you're going to suspend somebody,
I think you fine him $25-30 He's had mostly a clean sheet in his career.
Yep.
Yeah, it's helmet-to-helmet. He led with the head. At the same time, both guys were diving for the pylon. I don't think there was a malicious intent there. I think a fine makes sense. I don't think a suspension fits the crime, so I think this is the right move by the NFL. Obviously, it looks bad when you freeze frame it like that,
of course.
They're running at 100 miles an hour. There's a lot going on there. It probably should have warranted a penalty. It didn't. Maybe those type of things should be reviewed in the NFL. That's just me. But he will not be suspended, which is good news for the Chiefs because their secondary, especially at corner, is pretty banged up. He's had to play some nickel for them.
And they're going to have a really tough competition or a tough game going up against the Buffalo Bills, who their offense is moving on all cylinders, and good luck trying to stop Stephon Diggs because that guy, him and Josh Allen, have some serious connection.
He's going to toach Charvarius Ward if he gets that matchup.
You think?
Oh, my God. Ward has just continued to struggle for Kansas City. But this will be a fun game, Mitch. I hope it's a high-scoring affair between Kansas City and Buffalo. Like we said, hopefully we get Mahomes Allen because that's what everybody wants to see based on how those two guys have played this year. We'll leave you with this question. Who you got in this matchup? Type BUF for the Buffalo Bills, type KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Way too early prediction?
I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
And I think this is going to be a little bit of a revenge game. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes, even if he does play, is going to be fully healthy because I'm watching out for that foot injury, which he might have turf toe. And I'm going to keep betting on the Bills, and maybe it's because I don't want to bet on the Kansas City
If
Chiefs.
Mahomes plays, I'll take the Chiefs by a field goal.
NFL fans, get yourself an NFL face covering. Hey, it's getting cold in January, no matter where you are. Woo. And not only can you look good, these things keep you really, really warm. So go to chatsports.com/stay safe. They come in packs from 1, 2, 3 to 4. And all we're trying to do here is make sure that we can go live normal lives and watch some normal NFL playoff games. Because, man, if there is one thing that I miss, it is that playoff atmosphere. So all we always try to do here at Chat Sports is find you all great deals, but also let's be smart. Let's do the right things. Go go get yourself an NFL face mask. All 32 teams, again, all these sizes. It's basically one size fits all, and they're machine washable.
Yes.
Do the right things. Wear a face mask. It'll be in the comment section below and in the description. Chatsports.com/stay safe.